Ladies and gentlemen, you have locked into Rap Life. We're going to talk to Low Key. We're going to talk to Nadeska. What are the most important conversations that are going on in hip-hop right now, as well as run through some of the hottest songs on the playlist. So y'all keep it locked right here. This is Rap Life.
Now, first things first, let's get this out of the way. Romeo and Bow Wow, do we care?
No.
Let's go to Nadeska. Damn.
That was light. No, man. Look, we love Bow Wow. I would love to see him do a Verzuz someday, but I can't say that I know enough Romeo Miller songs to care about them doing a Verzuz. Doesn't really make sense. I'll pass on this one, though.
I don't know. Maybe, I'm showing my age, but what Romeo song did we party to, love, have fun with?
That's where I was going to ask. I don't know enough from Romeo to even know any songs that he has.
Neither. There must be at least one, though. Hold on.
It has to be do the research, but maybe Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. Those two right there is a
Bow Wow,
Soulja
Boy is the matchup.
Yep.
That's the matchup right there. Over the years, they've had so many hits, so many collabos, so many features, remixes. That's the thing we want to see. They had beef with each other. I mean, obviously Romeo and Bow Wow had their little situation, but I don't know where that conversation started or why it even started. Or who even brought it up.
Well, it started because on Fox Soul's The Mix, Romeo was on there. He said, if Bow Wow does a goddamn battle and it's not with me, don't do it. If Bow is going to do a battle, I'm open for it. Bow Wow responded and said, you sure you want this smoke? I see you calling me out. You sure you want to do this?
But was Romeo serious here, or did he just want some attention?
Yeah,
he probably just wanted a little back and forth.
Man.
Come on.
I don't. Yeah, this is not.
We don't
worthy.
know.
No disrespect, but he can't be serious.
We don't know.
Yeah, no disrespect to Romeo, but bro, This is not the league. This is not your arena. Let's Draco and
no disrespect, but let me disrespect your whole music career real quick. But you couldn't name
the song either, bro.
Yes, facts.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just facts. What you guys are saying is facts, man. Let's move on. LL Cool J, Jay-Z, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. LL Cool J's been nominated 6 times. He's finally in. Jay-Z, I believe, gets inducted on his first time. This past February, Reasonable Doubt turned 25 years old. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame rules are artists are only eligible for induction once their debut record has been around for 25 years. I did not know that.
I was completely unaware of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the criteria.
But
Nadeska, this makes sense. This is like a no-brainer. LL Cool J, Jay-Z.
Yeah, I also didn't realize LL was nominated multiple times. I'd be curious about that. Is there like a limit or a maximum amount to how many times you can get that nomination before they decide no longer?
But I don't know about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I know with baseball and basketball and some of these other Hall of Fames, you can be nominated for a long time. Like a legend who will never get into the Baseball Hall of Fame is Pete Rose, because he was betting against his games and gambling issues, et cetera, but his stats are there. And his name comes up all the time. LL Cool J and Jay-Z, Low, both of these guys deserve it, no question.
Listen, man, we're watching history in the making, and it's always great to see, some of our pioneers, our favorites, get the recognition that they deserve. LL was nominated 6 times, and now he's finally getting in. But for Jay to get in off the first rip, it's no surprise. Guy's 51, 52. He's a rock and roll legend. He's a legend, and it's great to see. A kid from Marcy is now a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, artist, not a rapper, artist, and he never wrote one word down using a pen. So listen, man, I love it. I love to see it. And he's still rapping. He's still going.
Nicki Minaj put out the Beam Me Up Scotty tape, one of her, I think that was her original tape, right, Nadeska, from 2009? Was that her first tape?
Yeah, this was like a really, really big look for her at this time. This was when Nicki proved that she was just an amazing, amazing rapper. I didn't know she had actually plans to re-release this. I feel like a lot of artists do this when they're about to drop another album, but this came out of nowhere for me. Unless you guys, Ibra, did you have a heads up about this?
I mean, it was definitely, yeah, of course. I work at Apple, so I knew it was going to happen, but I don't know if it was a public...
He's just trying to play it down for a second.
I don't know if it was made... Yeah, of course I knew. But it wasn't, I don't think it was promoted. It wasn't pre-promoted for the public. So, it's dope though because there's records on there that we hadn't had before. So that weren't, that clearly the whole tape nobody had unless you had it from back in the day. B, there was the Best I Ever Had remix that only some DJs had the digital file for that now is officially on streaming services. And she added the 3 new songs where she rhymes over a kind of like a resampled, slowed down Hove, Where I'm From beat on Fractions, the Seeing Green record, and then jumped on this Crocodile Teeth remix, which is a big record down in Jamaica and in the dance hall Jamaican community, jumping on that Caribbean record, which is always dope. She always gives that sauce. But let's focus on the Drake, Lil Wayne, Nicki real quick, that Seeing Green record. For the rap fans, we go to Low Key for a bars breakdown with Low Key. I know you spent some time paying attention here and got into these Wheezy bars and these Drake bars. I know you did.
Listen, no, I did. Listen, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like when I saw it, it was like I think it's like the second record on the tape. I was most impressed with Drake. It sounds like he's in a different kind of form, and I was just like. Kind of caught me off guard a little bit because some of the records that I've been hearing haven't been hitting as of late. But this kind of let me know that whatever we're going to get on CLB, if it's in any direction or inclination of this, I'm very, very impressed.
He's finally impressed and finally happened, bro. I can't believe it.
Like,
this is what it took.
But you know what it took, Nadeska? You know what it took? It took a surprise drop. He had no anticipation of it, no pre-promo.
Nothing.
That's what it takes for Drake or for Low to give Drake some credit. Because anything pre-promoted, Low's gonna lowball.
I'm like, hold on. Like, he sounded aggravated. He sounded confident. He sounded just like, y'all can't with me. Especially when I'm sitting next to Wayne and Nicki. Y'all definitely can't with me. And even Nicki said, like, yo, they both watched me. So that was a great moment just to see all 3 of them together. And then now it's on the Beam Me Up Scotty tape, and Apple Music has it, and everybody's now understanding how influential that tape was for her. Shout out to DJ Holiday who hosted it. But yeah, that Seeing Green just had me seeing red when I was listening to it. So I listen, Drake, if you're watching, man, good job.
Yeah, go get that Beat Me Up Scotty tape in Apple Music. 3 new tracks if you're not up to it, but definitely a lot of excitement around that release. And also, this J. Cole album had me acting out of character. I don't know about y'all, but I broke a cardinal rule of my own. I was so excited to hear some fresh new raps, to get back to some raps. There was a lot of hip-hop this weekend. The Kodak Black album, which I've still yet to go check out, but I'm definitely a fan of his music. The 21 Savage EP has 2 joints on there that are definitely fire on that joint that goes with Chris Rock's movie Spiral. But this J. Cole album, #1 currently in Apple Music, I think 1 through 9 is each and every single J. Cole song. There's only 12 songs on the album, by the way. But I did something unprecedented and jumped out the window after the 4th listen to the album and called it a classic.
Wow.
That goes against every rule I believe in.
Have you ever done this for another Cole album, or is this the first one that you dub a classic so quickly?
This is the first time this is the first time I've ever jumped out and said Cole got a classic on his hands here. And I think and here's why. I personally think it's the best album he's ever made. That's part 1. Part 2, you could definitely, he's entered another stage in his recording ability, production ability, and just even his presence on the record. Like I think the way he's posturing on this album is a new space for him. There's a level of confidence. But then also the musicality in the record. And then also the moment in time it comes. It's happening this year before we get a Drake album, before we get a Kendrick album. And we all know that Cole, Drake, and Kendrick of their generation are the top tier, right? They're, along with Nicki, along with some other people that came at around a similar time. And this full project comes at the time when everybody's just about to go back outside. The sun comes out, There's a new Cole album. It sounds phenomenal. It's got at least 3 mainstream hits on it. He's talking on there. And he's just giving great J. Cole. Like, this album is going to be one of those albums that forever will sit at the top, I think, of all of his albums.
Oh, my God. So, Ebro, I'm really happy to hear...
Even for his hardcore fans that were there from the day one.
And that's me. I'm a day one Cole fan, and I'm going to say, I'm happy to hear you say this, because as a hardcore Cole fan, the challenge has been over the past few years that Cole is such an introspective and thoughtful and humble and laid back guy. He's the guy who's going to take time out of his busy life, an hour to sit down and talk to Lil Pump, which I still felt like was a waste of time. But on this album, it's everything you said. He's talking his shit. This is like a moment as a Cole fan that I'm proud of. On a record like Applying Pressure or jumping out on the first record with that Cam intro, like this is the Cole that we've been waiting for
I forgot
10 years.
Yo, you had Cam open the album.
Bro.
You talking your shit,
Enough
Cole.
with the humble shit.
Cole.
Basically, we needed this. And you're right, the production. So another thing with Cole, he likes to produce his own records. So I think on KOD, he produced a lot of those records. And although they're great, his lyrical ability to me is never in question. But sometimes with the production, it can feel a little bit redundant because he's controlling all of it. With this one, he opened up. So he has T-, he has Timbaland, he has DJ Dahi. The beats are amazing. Boy Wonder, like, I think you nailed it. Like, this is probably my favorite, like, first listen Cole album in a long time. I love this project.
I'm gonna even talk before the album came out when he did that LA Leakers freestyle. When he
Facts.
did,
even that part.
That made me know that he was in a different, like, it was a different kind of confidence that I've never seen with him. And you could see just with his demeanor, his delivery, his flow, his timing, like everything was just like, hold on, this is a different guy we're looking at right now. And then when I watched the documentary, that's when I kind of understood his mindset about how he was approaching this album, about how he was approaching his basketball career. He even said like he kind of lost like the repetition and like just how to, approach a rhyme or how to approach a song because he felt like everything he was writing was whack. So he had to go back in and write every day. He had to go back in and freestyle every day. Everything he was doing was new. So this approach just feels like it's his rookie album. Like this is like, yo, it. Like I'm here, I'm coming to the table, I'm one of the best out, and that's it. I'm not the biggest Cole fan, but I can sit with this album and play it front to back.
It's such a beautiful moment. Remember when he dropped Born Sinner? For me, the album was kind of, I liked the album, but there were sad moments when he was talking about how he felt disappointing.
There was too many records on Born Sinner.
And Nas.
There was too many records.
It was the confidence at that point.
Too many records on Born Sinner.
Well, that and the confidence level for me. I've just never heard him in this pocket that he's in. I think it's the Cole I always knew was there, but he was just too humble to let out. So whatever it was that changed, and shout out to my guy Jinx, you also talked to him for that Slam cover where he talked about really pushing himself and putting in the hours. And again, I never felt like lyrically Cole let me down. I feel like some of his things were like, the platinum with no features, which irritated even him for a while, wanting to produce his own record. So I feel like those moves, even getting 21, getting a little baby on here, all those things I count towards pushing him. And it's just like, thank you, Cole, bro. Thank you. I needed this album from him. It's amazing.
Listen, I don't know about what Nadeska's talking about. I just been sitting around waiting for Cole to get to this point in his life and I'm not the biggest Cole fan. I'm just a rap fan who knows what his abilities are. And Born Center was too long, but 2014 Forest Hills Drive, For Your Eyes Only, KOD, and now this. In my opinion, that's 4 in a row. That's 4 solid albums in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of artists get to that 4-pack where you have your fans saying that these 4 albums are fire. Are of any of those 4 albums, Nadeska, these last 4 of Cole, do you think any of them are weak?
I wouldn't say weak, but some of them, I like some of his mixtapes more than I like at least one of those 4 albums that you mentioned. But it never changed my mind about how I felt about him. You know what I mean? So it's not like I would never sit here and criticize them. But mixtape Cole to me is amazing Cole. And this project to me sounds like mixtape Cole, if that makes sense. This to me is Friday Night Lights and the warm up. He's in like peak figure. He doesn't sound sort of lost. He's not worried about making the right hits. He's not worried about pleasing anyone. He's past all of that. He knows where he's at in the game. I don't know. I love everything about this.
I think he got one.
Can I point out something real quick before we wrap
Yeah, of
things
course.
up? The song "Let Go My Hand."
Oh yeah,
he
let's get to that
raps.
Diddy fight talk.
My last scrap was with Puff Daddy. Who would have thought it? I bought an album in seventh grade and played it so much you would have thought my favorite rapper was Puff. Back then, I ain't know shit. Now I know too much. Ebro, you're the historian. You've been around a long time. You understand these
Well, how
scuffles
about
behind
this?
the scenes squabbles. Can you shed some light on this?
I learned, I was today years old when I learned that this even took place.
No, you're lying. Stop
at
it.
the time.
You're lying.
Stop,
At the
Ebro,
time-
come on. Even
Yo,
I, at the time, heard
yo,
a story from someone who was there that night. It was just so long ago.
I never, either I don't remember.
You don't remember.
Like completely
You
don't
heard this.
remember.
You definitely
or
heard
I
this.
never heard.
You-
But I definitely got the information as of now, which it took
Right.
place during Kendrick's control verse when he called himself the King of New York.
Right.
It was at some party and Diddy was gonna pour a drink on Kendrick or something, and Cole stepped in and they started mixing it up. It was a little mix up, a kerfuffle, if you will, a dust up.
A kerfuffle.
It never from
A squabble.
a squabble.
I can't believe you
And
didn't
so
remember
I don't
this
know if it
making
ever got to-
headlines. It made headlines at the time that it happened. It's just that
I don't even
no one knew the backstory.
I don't think it got to fisticuffs. I don't think it got to fisticuffs.
I think people stepped in.
It was. I mean, I know. Punch kind of said, tweeted about it when it happened, but didn't say too much. But somebody had brought up his tweet. I guess like 8 years later, and was like everything Punch said was true because obviously Cole detailed it. But I want to go further into this situation about how Puff is always getting into it with the young.
At least it
niggas.
didn't go as far as Puff and Drake. Didn't he break Drake's arm or something?
Right? Yeah, like I
No,
think Drake and him.
I don't do Drake
you-
like that.
you didn't
Don't do
forget
Drake
this-
like that.
Or got
Drake-
into it. I'm
Drake
not
got
saying
on
he broke-
Instagram
I'm not saying
with
he broke
They
his
got
leg.
into something and Drake's shoulder got yambled up, but don't try to play it like
I was
Drake
not trying
was
to play
completely
him.
got
He
washed.
We're not
had
trying
the
to-
sling on
nah, we're not-
Instagram. He wasn't trying to hide the. Okay, Drake, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just remember that you wanted us to know some down. That's all.
Diddy, who I've known for a long time, will step to you, and he likes to play, and he likes to like tussle. Like me and Puff in the club have even had a couple little where he trying to like strong arm you strong arm him back, and then he want a bear hug, and he's just that kind of dude. Now, I'm not saying that was this situation. This sounds like he really wanted to try to play Kendrick for calling himself the King of New York at the time and really take it there and do something. That's what it sounds like. But I do know Diddy is the type of dude that'll be like, yo, what you said? You know what I mean? And try to mix it up like that. That is a Puff thing. So, and look, that's that era though. Puff also hit Steve Stout with a bottle. You know what I mean? Let's not forget that.
Well, I mean, obviously with that situation, there was intent to harm. If you hit anybody with a
But I'm
bottle
just
or
saying,
a glass object, that's intent to harm.
Evidence suggests that Puff will step to people. Yo, for Nadeska and Low, I'm Ebro. That's been the Rap Life Review. Thank you guys for joining us every week. Remember, subscribe right below on the YouTube channel and add the Rap Life playlist. So when we update it, you get all the additions right to the playlist automatically in your phone. Love y'all, and I'll see you next week.